Hey, one more thing before you go. As vegetarian diets have increased in popularity, veganism has gained recognition as a healthy and potentially therapeutic diet choice. An interesting approach to how microbes in our gut may be the key to everything that's wrong with us or that's right with us. After watching an interesting documentary this weekend, we found that it also creates balances in our gut microbes, and we are going to have a conversation about our journey with that veganism, vegetarianism, and microbes in our gut. We recognize so many things that we're going to talk about, and we want to share them with you. I'm your host, Michael Hurst. I'm here with my lovely wife, Diane.
Hello.
Welcome to One More Thing Before You Go over the Teacup Sunday with Michael and Diane. Hey, Diane.
Hey, Michael. I realized when I said hello in the introduction, it sounded like my Meineke guy. The Meineke hello.
Hello,
I
Mikey.
I I love those commercials so much. Oh, they just make me smile.
It's the Mine Key, Mine Mike,
Meineke?
Mine podcast. Yeah,
Oh,
especially when they were running them like, I don't know, a
oh
bazillion
gosh.
times in the morning.
I loved it. I loved it.
Every,
I know
yeah,
other people probably hated it. I loved it. Yeah,
and
but
every which one, because obviously, you've got the tickle the guy, you got
oh
the
my God, my favorite.
surprise, you got them
Yes,
driving across the ocean,
right?
you got them, with the water in there,
And
getting them coffee.
getting coffee. The one man band thing.
Oh yeah,
The
that
yeah.
and the
Is it-
surprise where he pops
Surprise!
the little thing out from the
Oh, I
mine key.
got you. I got you.
It
Sorry.
it's well, that's the power of marketing, right? It just did it the
Oh
right
my
way,
gosh. I
like it
love
was
it. I
supposed
love
to.
it.
Kind of
Yeah.
crazy,
Yep.
kind of crazy, man.
And I don't like commercials, but those I like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you stop in the morning before you got ready, before you went to work.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
like stop and
Mhm.
pretty
Watch my
much,
commercials. I watch
yeah.
my little German guy.
I see you
So I don't
run
know
out of the
why.
bath. Yeah, running out of the
Yeah.
bathroom. Wait, oh, wait. Hold that.
Wait,
Stop
wait.
that.
My commercial. My commercial. I
Kind of
don't know.
crazy.
Oh
Hey,
God.
this week, I know that we do a lot of TV, as everybody knows, and I know mostly Sundays. This is what we're talking about, but in this particular case, this really isn't a review of this particular documentary, although it's very good and you should watch it.
Hmm.
This
Yeah.
is more about our journeys with what comes about of it. As you as the community. One more thing before we go, community, know that I primarily have been vegan for like close to 25 years now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
technically pescatarian because I do eat fish, and occasionally I eat
Yeah.
eggs. But when I eat eggs,
Hmm.
I have to yell at myself because my body yells at me.
Yeah.
And I don't eat fish as often as I used to anymore.
Yeah.
But it's primarily vegan. And do you remember back when I was first diagnosed with this incredibly horrible disease
Yeah. It
that
sucks.
the rheumatologist that I had when I was starting to investigate alternatives to the like 4 or 5 different drugs they wanted to put me on, and I had found some interesting information in regard to diet
Hmm.
and what we eat and how it affects people with rheumatoid arthritis. And he basically told me it was a BS.
Yep. He did.
Remember that?
And he also didn't tell you about the
Hand splints.
braces, the hand splints to wear overnight. He didn't tell you about those, so you found about those like 10 years too late.
Yeah,
Um, and they were around at that point, but
they
he
were
didn't
around.
bother to tell you.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
it's a shame. It just shows you the medical profession and how the medical
Yeah.
profession is designed, or the health industry is designed to keep people within that industry, which that's a whole nother conversation we'll talk about. But,
Yep.
this,
Yep.
we talk about society and culture here on this podcast, and this is a societal issue, I do believe, in
Hmm.
regard to that. Well, part of that comes with our diet, what we eat, what we put into our bodies. That old cliche, we are what we eat,
Hmm.
is like
Yeah.
100% true.
Yep.
And from my perspective, as an individual that's been primarily vegan for the last 25 years or so, as I said. And then you now have evolved into a diet that's, I would say, 85 to 90% vegan because you still eat
Um,
chicken.
I'd say I'd say at least 80% vegetarian. I don't know that I don't know. I mean, I eat a lot of eggs.
You eat
I
eggs,
I eat cheese.
you eat cheese. So that's more
I
vegetarian
yeah.
from that perspective.
So and but I did just this week. I gave up my regular butter for
You
plant-based
did.
butter. I did do that. I only have regular milk, lactose free though, but regular dairy milk on my
Yeah.
cereal. So that's like maybe once a week. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot. I probably the most I do is I eat chicken,
Yeah, because
but not every. That's not every day either.
you've even changed. You don't really eat beef. Very
I,
rarely do you. If we go out to a nice
very
restaurant or
rarely
something, you eat like a grass fed or something like that. But
a grass fed burger. Yes, I will do that once in a while. I don't eat fast food anymore.
yeah,
Not that I wouldn't want it, but I just don't do it
well,
because it was years of me going to the fast food places, and
yeah,
boy, did it just wrecked me. It wrecked me. So
well, and we found from personal experience that it helps to manage disease. It's helped me manage my rheumatoid
hmm
arthritis. I'm not
yeah.
on any rheumatic disease. Rheumatic? It's
Uh,
kind
I
of
don't know. It sounds so old
it
fashioned.
sounds
That's
like an
like an
old
old
fashioned. Here's some rheumatic. I got some rheumatic stuff going on here.
got some rheumatism. My rheumatism.
My rheumatism is acting up.
I don't know why that struck me funny.
It it yeah. See, back when that was, I go. There's my old man impression. Now I'm an old man, so it fits. It's okay. But we know that it helps manage my rheumatoid arthritis, and it does it pretty effectively. And
Yeah.
because it does it pretty effectively, when I slip off of it, I honestly can, and from being around me, know how much it affects me when I do kind
Yeah.
of take a misstep, or if we go someplace and I say, hey, does this have this in it? Does this have that in it? And they go, oh, no, it doesn't. And then, after we eat it and I come home and the next day I can't move, we
hmm
know that, well, yeah, it did have something in it.
Yeah.
We know that it works and
Yep.
that what we
Yeah.
eat, is what it
It
is.
it has definitely been tried and tested a lot
And, I
over
know that they
25
found
years.
a bazillion diets out there, everybody, Weight Watchers. And I mean, help me out with some of these. There's Weight Watchers, there's
Jenny Craig.
Jenny Craig, and some of these have already gone under,
Yeah, I
by
think
the
Jenny
way.
Craig's no longer. I don't know.
I think Weight Watchers did the same thing.
No, Weight Watchers is still around.
It's around.
They keep reinventing what they're doing, probably because they're trying to stay with it. But I
But they've
think
got
Oprah's still on Weight Watchers board, so
from
they're
there.
still they're still alive.
And of course, we have
Um,
the keto diet and
keto,
I mean,
right?
you name it, the
Pa
paleo diet, and
paleo diet, right?
they go into a whole slew of stuff. But really, in reality, some of the diet that they've got out there, they go, "Oh, this is more healthy for you." I had a conversation with an individual that literally said, to fix all of your ailments, you need to, stop being a vegan and you need to eat meat and introduce meat and just have,
Well,
meat six times a day.
let's be clear, she was not a dietitian of any means. She was just
Not a
a
dietitian, correct? And
regular person that thinks she knew the answers.
And the whole thing of it is that we know that, from my perspective and what I learned way back when, I won't mention any names, but the doctor, the rheumatoid doctor back in Colorado, had told me that it was a bunch of BS. There was no scientific proof in regard to whether or not diet would have any effect on inflammation or arthritis.
hmm
I wish I would have found another doctor because, as we have come to find out, that it does have a significant effect on it. And,
Now, that could be because at that time there maybe wasn't scientific proof. They
well,
were just
no, there
people were
was.
writing about it. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah,
All
these
right.
people that were writing were dietitians, and people writing were other rheumatologists. And Dr.
Okay.
Brown, who luckily, when we moved here to Arizona, I found a doctor that actually followed Dr. Brown's protocol in regard
hmm
to going to a vegan diet and food elimination, and taking out specific foods like nightshade group, and
Hmm.
anything at the eight or nine vegetables in the nightshade group, along with
Hmm.
eliminating red meat and pork. And they said you could kind of get away with chicken, but when I tried it, I didn't have any real luck with it. And they said you
No,
could eat turkey. Well, same thing.
and you
So
don't really like turkey anyway.
not really. I've never
Hmm.
been a big turkey guy, but
Hmm.
I have turkey legs. No,
You
those are
you can act
chicken
like
legs. Those are
you
chicken
can
legs.
be a little bit of a turkey butt sometimes, but
We can all be turkey butts, every once in a while. You could be a turkey butt. I could be a turkey butt.
I'm never a turkey butt.
You're a turkey butt. I'm a turkey butt. Everybody's a turkey
There's
butt.
a turkey butt.
The But yeah, I mean, it helps with rheumatoid arthritis. It helps with being heart healthy. Veganism and this almost sounds like cannibalism, doesn't it?
I know
Cannibalism or
you hate
veganism?
you really hate that word. Every time you say it, you say
It's
I
like you
hate
go to
that.
a restaurant and you say the way the host says, "Veganism or cannibalism? Which one would you
Oh God.
like, please?" Well, I'll take the cannibalism. Do you have something in between? Can I have a little cannibalism with my veganism to spice it up
Oh
a
my
little
God.
bit?
Stop it.
But
No.
realistically, when we've done it, and even your evolution with food has made some
Hmm.
drastic changes. We know it feels better.
Drastic.
We feels
Yeah,
better.
drastic.
This
Yeah.
this documentary is on Netflix, and I know that you would never believe we'd be on Netflix because we never talk about being on Netflix, do we?
Gee, I can't imagine it'd be our favorite
So
streaming service.
it's called Hack Your Health: The Secrets of Your Gut. It's directed by
Mhm.
Anjali Nayar. It's starring the cast is it's all these people that are themselves actually.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Julia Enders, and Julia Enders is an MD. She's an author. She's a gut specialist, actually. Heidi
Hmm.
Kramer, and she's a mentor. She's doctor, actually, also as well. Cryan, John Cryan, self and neurologic scientist, University of College York, and we have a neuroscientist and a neurologist here because there's a connection between your gut and your brain, and they're finding
Yes.
that, believe it or not, with Alzheimer's and with Lewy body
Parkinson's
dementia now too,
and Parkinson's.
and Parkinson's.
Hmm.
So he got involved as well. There's a microbiologist and several other people,
Hmm.
and they followed this group of individuals in regard to their methodologies and what they were doing. They followed four people
Hmm.
with their different
Different ailments.
journeys, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, ailments. Some of them had like physical ailments going on with them.
Yeah, they had one person that was on she called it, these are her words, a forever weight loss diet
Hmm.
because she'd go on a diet that they one of these fad diets, and then she'd lose the weight, then she'd put it all back on, and then she'd go on
And
another
more.
diet, and then she'd lose the weight, and then put it back on, and she
Hmm.
called it a forever diet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
for,
just like everyone else is on.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
forever weight loss diet.
Hmm.
And we'll talk a little bit about the Mediterranean. Now, obviously, disclaimer: we are not doctors, we are not scientists, we are not dietitians, but
Hmm.
this is from our own personal experience and what I've learned over the last
Yes.
25 years. So everything that we talk about right now is based upon what we've learned and what we've observed in like this documentary and several
Hmm.
other documentaries in regard to, health, because I take a very proactive approach in my disease.
Hmm.
And I took a proactive approach because, as we know, and I haven't been this part of my journey has not been talked about on the podcast before on this show. I went from a 165 healthy individual, 165, 170 pound individual down to 100 pounds.
Right.
And this
Now,
disease just tore me up.
you were, yes, but let's be clear, you were still 165 even after you been diagnosed for a number of years.
I was. And then the
You,
drugs that they
you,
put me on
right. That's
is,
what dropped your weight.
is what did it. And then I've
Yeah.
learned to find out that, the gut and what's in your gut, and the gut microbes are key to allowing your body to heal the way it needs to be healing and to take care of
Hmm.
itself the way that it needs to take care of. And that it will have either a negative or positive effect on something like autoimmune disease.
Hmm.
And that if you don't have the right amount of the microbes in the right gut health, in your body, in your stomach, in your bowels, in your whole body actually has got them, then what it does is it creates chaos. And that chaos
Mhm.
turns into inflammation. That inflammation turns into pain. Pain turns into grumpy, and which I've never been. Never,
Yes, it
never have
does.
I been in pain and grumpy at the same time. And days
Okay.
and weeks, and it turns into chronic pain. And chronic
Hmm.
pain is not fun to be around. It's not fun to experience. It's not fun to be around, and it's not fun to watch your body deteriorate because of certain things about it. So everything we're talking about right now is because I've learned the hard way
Yeah.
from
Yep.
my perspective. And you recently learned a little bit of the hard way yourself
I
in regard
did.
to this.
Yes, I did.
And it was nice to see this documentary validate some things in regard to that and to
Hmm.
kind of really delve deep into what options we have in the proactive choice that we need to make to keep our own health on track,
Hmm.
kind of a
Well, I
thing.
thought it was interesting, they talk about everyone's microbiome, basically
Yeah,
the whole area where the microbes live. And everybody's microbiome is so individualized
it
that
is.
not one thing is going to work for you that's going to work for me. So there's really no blanket way to approach this. And you have to be proactive in your own individual health,
Yeah,
you know?
it is. It's a journey. Anybody that's gone through or walked this path before, it's a journey. And if you've
Hmm.
got an autoimmune disease or a chronic problem in regard to that, our youngest daughter has got endometriosis. We've talked about that on the show before. She's been on the show a couple of different times talking about it as well
Hmm.
herself with me. Realistically, these kind of autoimmune diseases, if managed correctly, literally, it's like night and day.
Hmm.
I mean, night and day. You
Yeah.
have seen her, you've seen me at an absolute pain. I mean, where I can't hardly
Yes.
walk and
Yeah.
move. I can't hardly stand up straight. If I ate something I wasn't supposed to eat, or if I had an issue with accidentally going, I won't say off the wagon because I really don't. But if there's times
No.
I go, well, I'm going to try this, I
Hmm.
pay for it, and you notice it, and
Yeah.
it's from a vegan perspective and from a vegetarian perspective. There are nutritional benefits of being a vegan. I am also
Hmm.
gluten free, so I add gluten free on top of that because it it is been proven. There are scientific studies that have been done that
Hmm.
gluten, wheat, and I won't list off everything in there, but I'll leave some links to the articles. But has a detrimental effect on inflammation, and that it will cause you to. And people with rheumatoid arthritis, people with gout, people with oh my gosh, MS, lupus, anything along that line, it will
Hmm.
create a negative environment in your body. So I'm
Hmm.
gluten free as well. But experiencing the diet, like in fresh fruits and vegetables and legumes and whole grains, you know, the right whole grains, depending upon whether or not you've got rheumatoid like me, where you
Right.
can't have wheat.
Because there's still some other grains you can't have, not
Yes.
just the wheat.
But
Yeah.
I've switched to stuff like amaranth and millet and buckwheat and Namaste has got a fantastic gluten-free flour blend that we cook with,
Hmm.
and I make
Hmm.
muffins and I make pancakes and I make anything that
Pasta.
we'll say a regular
Well,
person
pasta.
can, and
The
pasta.
pasta's with Caputo.
No,
But
the
anyway.
pasta is with Namaste. The pizza and the bread and the focaccia
Oh, that's with
is with the
Caputo.
Caputo Fiore Galut,
Okay.
which is like fantastic.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll do a show one of these days on all of those things so that people kind of have a
Hmm.
good, really a wide variety.
Yeah.
Because when I first started this journey, man, it was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. I think the bread part was the hardest at the very first. There
Well,
there
yeah.
just
Plus,
there wasn't the gluten-free products out there, and the ones that were awful.
yeah,
So
and yeah, like cardboard,
they've
and
gotten better.
that, and the fact that they put you learn these things. Modified food
Hmm.
starch is actually wheat. They
Yes.
put that
So if
in
you're reading your
everything.
labels, yes, if you're reading labels, they will say,
Yeah.
modified food starch, and they will be specific if it's tapioca food starch, which is fine because it's not gluten, or rice.
Yeah.
They'll
Rice or
do
brown
rice,
rice, white rice.
but sometimes if it says just modified food starch, more than likely that's wheat.
Steer clear. It
So
also say
yes,
maltodextrin or
yes.
cornstarch type thing. It will sometimes say that. Now,
Hmm.
some people can have that. I cannot. People with rheumatoid
No,
arthritis really will stay away from cornstarch.
corn. Hmm. And
I,
that's what a lot of the gluten-free products, they substitute corn for the wheat
yeah,
a
and
lot of the
it's
time.
interesting because I was on. I had stopped all meat and just again occasionally fish, even way back when. And I would before I had the allergic reaction to the medication that they had me on. Again, like you said earlier, I was 165 pounds and I was doing really, really well.
And you were golfing.
I was golfing. I was doing leading a normal lifestyle, and
Hmm.
I started losing weight drastically, but because of the medication and stuff. But they said, well, that's because you're vegan. It's like I was 165 pounds being a vegan. So
Hmm.
that's not true.
Mm-mm. No.
So, and we all know that eating more fruits and vegetables can promote heart health and reduce the risk of other chronic, diseases and so like we just talked about the fact that this was a medical clinic for everybody out there. Obviously, Diane and I know it was a medical clinic. This was a
Yeah.
medical clinic, so obviously for them to come out and blame my weight loss immediately on the fact that I was a quote vegan
Hmm.
unquote, was absolutely ludicrous from that
Yeah.
perspective. And it was like, nah, but I got to find out. It's a long story about having to get off of everything and then trying to regain my health. And that's a whole nother show,
Yeah.
another show. But
Or three.
if people are finding out that the role of plant-based diets in weight management is effective and that it will help improve your digestive health because it puts the right microbes in and so forth in Charlie saying hi. Yes, Charlie. What do you need, baby? Just give me a minute. It puts the right microbes within your system. It balances them out, which that's kind of what this show talked about. There
Yeah.
was a one woman in there that she goes, was it she had 30 or 60 that they tell her? 60? 60
I
different
don't know.
fruits and vegetables she was supposed to start
Oh,
juicing?
put in the juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Well, they gave her
And
a
it
whole
was and
list
it
of.
was and it was veggies and fruit. Oh, some of it you would never ever ever want to put in a smoothie or a juice.
Plus, I think she kind of misunderstood just a little bit because when they gave her the
Yeah.
sheet she was reading from, I think they gave her 60 that she could pick from. And she thought she
Right.
had to put them all in,
Yeah.
which,
And so she did.
so she did. And she's kind of going,
Oh,
ah, blah, blah.
no.
That's kind of,
And some of those that when she was putting it in, I'm like, don't stop it. Don't put that in there. I mean, ugh, no. And we do juices. We do
we d-
fresh fruit and vegetable juices. And we're like, would you ever put that? No, I would never ever think to put that in there.
and when I
So,
found out that, I mean, when I stopped juicing, because I stopped juicing for a little while because of
hmm.
my hands and the equipment that we had, it caught up with me and it caught up with me really
Yep,
fast.
yep.
Uh,
And
it,
lasted a while. It was hard to
it did.
combat it. Hmm.
Hey, we had to take a really quick break because Charlie had to go out. But we're back now. That's my
Yeah,
that's my radio commercial voice.
it's pretty good. Just,
Say, would
put
you
the little
like some?
German accent on. You're the Meineke guy. Well, not really,
Well,
but
that depends. Will I get lucky or
I don't like the Meineke guy in that way.
Okay,
He
good.
just makes me laugh.
Good, good,
Gosh.
good, good, good. It is interesting. After watching that documentary, it really got me more aware of, I guess, realizing again what this can actually do to us. And I
Yeah,
think you had a realization yourself because we were talking about the fact that when your microbes get kind of screwed up and when they're
hmm,
balanced, you feel great.
yeah,
When they get off balance, when they're messed up or they're killed, And you'd have to watch this documentary to really understand it because it would be way too
Yeah.
much to go into in regard to
Yeah,
how many.
and we're not, we wouldn't be able to do it justice. It was so well done.
Yeah,
It's very entertaining. It sounds like it really wouldn't be entertaining. It's entertaining
it
and
is.
it's interesting and just things that like, wow, that really does make sense. Like, never would have put that together, but that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So the thing that I learned or that I realized or I was confirmed was, I started a serious, like really finally being serious about exercise and weight loss. May 1st, 2023 is when I started.
Yeah.
And I went off, I just was like, okay, this is what I'm doing this. I'm not getting any younger and I can't feel this way anymore. And I wanted to lose 70 pounds. And I
Yeah.
put it out there to myself, I'm not going to focus on the number, but I had to have some sort of an end goal. But I was like, I'm just going to see how much I can lose by my birthday. And then I'm going to see how much I can lose by a year later. And, I just keep doing these little things. And of course, things got messed up. Of course they did,
Yeah.
because I'm human. But I've been able to pretty much stick with working out 7 days a week. Sometimes I don't do as much as I should, but I try to at least do something. But last month, well, what are we in? We're in June. So
Already.
when I know. So the month of May, I weigh myself every first of the month. It's the only time I weigh myself. I measure myself, and I don't do anything else other than that. So when I weighed myself on June 1st, I realized I gained almost 5 pounds in the month of May. 1 month, I gained 5 pounds back. I had lost almost 30 pounds, and I gained five back, and it about destroyed me. But I realized exactly why it happened, and I was honest with myself. And I went back on sugar. I was bad. I went back on sugar the month of May, kind of in April, May, and I totally saw it. I finally saw it. Like, I looked at it and I felt it, and I realized how much pain I was in and how it was really messing with my head too. My depression came back worse as I
Yeah.
was eating the sugar. So, and then seeing this, it was like, wow. I mean, I just saw the connection for the first time in my life.
And your
It
stomach. I
was
mean, you were having,
and my stomach.
yeah, we'll say problems in that area that,
Hmm.
you hadn't had for quite some time, and that
Yeah.
created, the problems in there. So basically, reintroducing that poison.
Yeah, unfortunately, because it tastes good. It really does. But I also realized the more of course it started off with, oh, I can handle just a little bit. It's fine. I can, but just that little bit led to more and led to more. And my craving for it, I had not craved it in almost a year. I was craving it constantly. So it obviously reacts with the brain and everything is all connected for sure. And you have to be very, very careful. And again, it's very individualized. Some people can just have a little bit and then be fine. But I have an addictive personality, so that's I go big or go home on everything. So
Well, and realistically, it is. There were a couple of people in the documentary that they were talking.
mhm,
They had depression and they had some other things, going on with them that were similar to that. And one of them is a
mhm,
chef who literally she says, "Well, I have to taste what I'm fixing," but she's a
mhm.
pastry chef.
Yeah.
See, and then she had to
And
realize that
sugar's the worst thing for her.
exactly. So
Hmm.
it's interesting because in this article that I had found, and I'll try to make this quick. There were two articles that I read at the National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology Information with the National Health Institute official website of the United States government.
Wow. Whew.
Yeah, I have to take another breath.
I
I have to
know.
have a smoothie to give me some energy to come back to this show. The
Yeah.
health advantages of a vegan diet, exploring the gut microbiota. Microbiota. There we go. Gut
That's a new
microbiota
one.
connection. It was written by Mariam Glickbauer and Ming Ching Ye. This review examines whether or not there's evidence that the strict vegan diet confers health advantages beyond that of a vegetarian diet or overall healthy eating. Few studies include vegan subjects as a distinct experimental group, yet when vegan diets are directly prepared or compared to vegetarian and omnivoric diets, a pattern of protective health benefits emerge. The relatively recent inclusion of vegan diets in the study of gut microbiota and the health allows us the opportunity to assess whether the vegan gut microbiota is distinct and whether or not the health advantages and characteristic of a vegan diet may be partially exclaimed by an associated microbiota profile. I know that's a lot to take in, but I'll leave a link in the show notes. Everybody has it. The relationship between the diet and the intestinal microbial profile appears to follow a continuum, with vegans displaying a gut microbiota that's distinct from that of omnivores, but not always significantly different from that of vegetarians. The vegan gut profile appears to be unique in several characteristics, including a reduced abundance of pathogens and a greater abundance of protective species, reducing levels of inflammation, which is a key factor in making, the microbiota, why do they have to make this so complicated? Microbiota with protective health effects. So in reality, that right there just validated for me, for my rheumatoid arthritis, that eating the diet that I'm eating now, and even kind of moving away from fish, that I eat not every day, not all the time, but I do
Right.
introduce it, staying away from the eggs, says, yeah, you're able to reevaluate your gut and what's in it to help me with my inflammation. So it was also another refresher for me and a wake up call as well, because it gave me validation in several, between the documentary and that article gave me
Yeah.
immense validation.
Yeah. Well, and I think that what I liked about the documentary too is that they start right out saying, look, yeah, this stuff that you're probably doing with your body is probably screwing up your gut, and that's why
Yeah.
you feel like crap, but you can change it. And
Yeah.
that I thought was really great that they said at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, you can change this. You can feel better. And
It's a
so we
proactive choice.
immediately, right, you immediately texted Nicole to, hey, you got to watch this. I don't know if she did, but
Well, yeah, I don't know if she did either, because she probably went looked at it
uh,
and went, ah, crap, is Dad getting on me again? You know, I don't look. I'm not
yeah,
always on my daughter, but I am trying to be proactive with her health because she's in pain. And
right.
we've seen it, we've
Yeah.
witnessed it, we watched her sit there double over in pain. So I want her to
Yeah.
feel better, and I want her to be able to get over this and to be able to make, approaches. I've talked to her for years, and she has taken some steps.
She's done better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she's
she's done
actually
better.
doing
Yeah.
well. So,
Hmm.
but this whole system, I think, especially understanding more about the types of gut bacteria, not bacteria, probiotics and
Hmm. Well,
well, let's have
bacteria.
bacteria as well.
There's good bacteria and bad
And
bacteria.
bad bacteria, it's like kind of a
Yeah.
war zone inside your body.
They do such a great job. I mean, they really do. They, there's some animation stuff which I'm a sucker for that. I love anything with animation.
It's really
So,
fun.
but it's really cute. It just really explains everything. It really does for us
And done
simple
very
people.
effectively and efficiently, because it's done
Yes.
in such a way that you're enthralled with each one of these people's journeys to see
Hmm.
where they're at with it. And they do use some methodologies in there that might give some people
Oh,
some
yeah.
pause.
You might get a little squeamish at some of it because I did, but hey, if it works, it works, right?
It does.
Yeah.
And
So,
I would recommend that if you are considering becoming a vegan or considering a vegetarian,
mhm.
do it at a time. Introduce it
Yeah.
a step. It doesn't happen
Well,
overnight. I need to tell you
yeah.
everybody that. Again, I'm not a dietitian, but I am an individual that experienced this and learned it. I'm an individual that I have been an advocate for this
Hmm.
lifestyle for quite some time now. And I can tell you that, for me, it works. And I had
Hmm.
a severe case of, I've been on 9 different drugs for my rheumatoid arthritis. And all that
Hmm.
did was put me from 165 pounds healthy, 165 pounds to 100 pounds, almost put me in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And, a hard journey trying to get it back. So,
Mm-hmm.
getting rid of all of that, I was able to get off of my medications, not recommending that you get off your medications or cut them cold turkey.
No,
You talk that
this
over
is
with your
just
doctor. But I'm
this is
telling you,
just our journey. This is just what we've done. Yeah.
exactly. I personally was able to get off those medications and be able to continue with my journey with managing it with food, with
Mm-hmm.
this diet, with juicing, with fruits and vegetables. And it's closely related to the Mediterranean diet and the Blue Zone
Yeah,
diet.
it is.
The
Yeah.
Mediterranean diet and the Blue Zone diet, then if you're not familiar with the Blue Zone diet is, they call it a diet, but it's really a lifestyle. And, it started out with 9 Blue Zone diet or Blue Zone areas. Now it's up to like 11, I think, or 12, because they've added a couple more. But they're the longest living individuals on planet Earth that
Yeah.
live in these 9 different zones, or now
And
11
they
different zones.
they believe that it's because of what they eat.
It's what they eat and how they eat it. It's,
And also how they live. And also how they
I
live
was going to
too.
say, it's a lifestyle. It's not just a
Yeah.
diet, it's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
lifestyle. You have to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
to take stress out of your life and to get good rest and to not get angry. And there's a whole many different things about community and about talking with people and,
Mm-hmm.
looking out for your family, looking out for your neighbors, looking out for other
Yeah.
people, keeping that
Connection.
community connection. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
connection. Which we
Yeah.
we're looking out for you guys. This is our community. One more thing before you go
Mm-hmm.
is our community. And, we want to look out for everybody that's in here and make sure that, you guys have options and, ways of improving your life in a very proactive, in a very positive way. As you all know, we've done
Mm-hmm.
this. We're closing in on publishing 400 episodes here. We've got over 400 interviews. I'm still posting, each week, but it's been a journey. And I want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that we as a community continue to grow in a positive way as well.
Yep. We want everybody to feel good.
And is from your perspective, Diane, how I mean everybody just heard how it was teaching me. How did it I mean how I feel and what it's doing for me. What Tell me how it's doing for you. How do you feel about it?
About eating 80% veggies in my diet, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, has it made a significant
Yeah.
difference?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't think I never, I don't think I've ever lost close to 30 pounds in a year. I mean, not that it really doesn't sound like a lot, right? 30 pounds, it took a year to lose almost 30 pounds. Um, but I think that's part of it too. I think if you do it slowly, and just kind of,
Yeah.
not focus so much on a number, but just say, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this for me and I'm going to do this to feel better. And, um, not just know that it's going to take time. It takes what it takes. That's what I told myself. This is going to take as long as it takes. I'm not going to stop, and yeah, I'm going to mess up, but I'm going to get back on it. And I have been able to, where normally decades of doing this, as soon as I'd mess up, I'd be like, well, I already messed up. I'm just going to do it. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I realize I focused on what I did wrong. I see what it did to me. I really connect with what it did, how I feel,
Yeah.
and then I get better,
Back on it.
and I get back on it. Right. So, um,
And you've
I,
noticed what it does when you introduce to your body things that your body doesn't like.
right.
You know what it feels like. You
I know what it
recognize it
feels like
now.
now.
You
Yep.
kind of went,
When I was
wow,
when
that's
I
made a
was
huge
back on the
difference.
sugar, when I was back on the sugar, I realized my anxiety levels went back up where I had been off of my anxiety meds for a while. And I started back on them and then I felt worse after that too. So I got back off of those, got off the sugar again. And again, this is just for me. This might not work for everybody, but I was hurting from head to toe. I was achy everywhere
Yeah.
when I would eat the next day after I'd eat the sugar. I was achy everywhere. I was like, wow, I've never realized that before. But yeah, that actually was happening to me for years and I didn't realize it.
It just felt like
So
normal. Felt like normal. And again,
yeah,
just to emphasize, this is our experience.
right.
We're not doctors. We're not giving you medical advice,
No.
and we're not telling you what to do. If you choose to try this yourself, please do it with caution. Make sure you talk to your doctor, your health practitioner, whoever you trust within
Mm-hmm.
this arena, and they may or may not agree with it. But
Right.
you need to be proactive in your choices as well, and tell them that this is something that I want to try or something that I want to do. Take control of
Right.
your health. Take control of your direction in that regard.
Hmm.
So yeah, I I I mean, you never believe I'm 92 years old, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's no, it really it's a situation that I think that check out that. I say again, this wasn't a review of the documentary. It really wasn't. This was a wake up call for Diane and I both to really kind of have a better, deeper understanding of what our gut feels like when it's supposed to work correctly, and along with the rest of our body.
Hmm.
And we all know it. Do you like having heartburn? Do you like having headaches? Do you like having, you know, well, I'll just be gross diarrhea or constipation?
Right.
Do you like having to not go to the bathroom for 2, 3, 4 days in a row? Kind of a situation.
I
So,
don't. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think we talked everybody's ear off enough.
Yes.
Hopefully
And my phone is about to die.
they're
So
going to be an immediate. Okay, I'm now vegan. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
no, no. Take it slow. Take it slow. Try it out. Take it slow.
Yep. Hey, one more thing before you all go. We want to thank you for being part of the One More Thing Before You Go community. Thank you for being part of our family. Thank you for being with us with each and every episode that we're here. If you love us, please make sure you subscribe, you follow, and you share, and comment, and give us a review, because it just helps us to bring you better, bigger
Hmm.
and better and more things. And again, reminder, there's going to be some changes evolving. You've already seen some of them already. Keep that in mind. And I think one more thing before you all go. Do you have anything else to say, Diane?
Nope. I don't. I think I'm good.
Have a great day. Have a great week. And thanks for listening and watching.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.